What's up, YouTube? This your boy. This is Rangers Cowboys 3209, making my first video in almost a year with my much anticipated return to my original YouTube account in celebration of Monday Night Raw's unprecedented, unheard of 1000th episode. Tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw 1000, they'll be going 1000 hours. Wow, botch. 3 hours on a permanent basis. And also, I just got my new iPhone 4S. It's my first video on that. Not a bad way to break in the phone. This video is my top 10 Raw moments in the history of Monday Night Raw, in the history of Raw's 999 episodes. I had to pick 10 moments, and guys, my moments are probably different than yours. That's what makes it so great, is that different moments catered to different people, and things that I marked out for, you might not have necessarily marked out for. And I remember these 10 specific things for my own reason, not necessarily because they were the most shocking things in the world, but for my own reasons, and they're memorable to me. So my limit is 15 minutes. I've made some new YouTube accounts, and you can increase the limit. Well, when I went back to this account, it said increased limit is not available, so I got to try to figure that out. So I can't give you 10 moments in 15 minutes, especially with a 2-minute intro. So this video will be in 2 parts. 10 through 6 will be part 1, this video, and then 5 through 1 will be part 2. So we're going to go on and get on with it. This list changed so many times, guys, but this is the final list. You can see it right there. Number 10 is The Rock 2011 return. The reason I remember this is because I grew up watching The Rock. Okay, I mean, The Rock was my guy. It was like The Rock and Stone Cold was my two favorite that I grew up on. That anytime they came out, anytime you heard "If You Smell," or anytime you heard the glass shatter, you knew all hell was about to break loose. And especially The Rock and Stone Cold's rivalries, all their rivalries over the past. It was just great to see him back. 2011, he had been out 7 years making movies and everything, and finally, just out of nowhere, he comes back, and I'm going to be hosting WrestleMania 27. And then, of course, that built up to the John Cena, The Rock, WrestleMania 28, once in a lifetime, and all of that. But more specifically than that whole situation, I think that The Rock's 2011 return was really memorable for me because, I mean, you have, ladies and gentlemen, returning to Raw for the first time in 7 years, please welcome back Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If you smell. And I was marking out, dude, because The Rock was my guy. So that's why that puts that at number 10. Number 9, we have Y2J's Chris Jericho's Save Us return. Jericho has had so many returns, guys. I mean, obviously this past one after touring with his band, and then the one before that, Dominant Force will return to reclaim what is rightfully his. The world as you know it will change. And then before that was Save Us, and I mean he's had so many returns and so many great themes for his returns. But I think that the Save Us one really stands out more than the rest, just because it was something different. And I didn't know that it was Jericho. The world is ending one, I didn't really necessarily know that was Jericho either. But the Save Us thing, you remember the little 30-second, 2-minute promos come on, and just a bunch of numbers on a blue background. Can you crack the code? That was before the code breaker. That was before Jericho invented the code breaker. So I had nothing to go on. Oh, it's Jericho. I didn't know, and so that's why, you know, through all of that, and I'm trying to figure out who is it, and then just all of a sudden, the code has been broken. Break the walls down. Once again, I was marking out because it was unexpected, and I remember, back when back when I thought that the characters were actually the real person, I didn't like Jericho because I was like, well, Jericho's a dick, Jericho's mean, and all of this. And I mean, as a kid, it's like that. But then I I grew to like Jericho as I came to realize that that was his character. As I grew older, and I realized that that's just a character that he's portraying. It's not actually, how he is. And I grew to like Jericho. I really like his in-ring ability, and maybe, hopefully, we'll see him as a WWE champion one more time, or World Heavyweight champion, either one. But that's what puts Chris Jericho's Save Us Return at number 9. Alright, number 8 we have Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels burying the hatchet. We all know about the Montreal Screwjob. Shawn Michaels got Bret Hart in the sharpshooter. Bret Hart never tapped, and Vince was like, ring the bell, ring the bell. We all know about that. We all know that that was real. We all know that that actually happened. And it was just nice to see Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels able to make peace in the middle of that ring on national TV. It was just good to see, because there was real bad blood there between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. That wasn't a storyline. That wasn't written down. That was real bad blood there because of that Montreal Screwjob. And it was just nice to see them able to work out their differences, and it was just nice to see. So because it was something that I never thought would happen, but it was definitely nice to see that, and that's what puts Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels making peace at number 8. Alright, number 7, we have Eddie Guerrero's tribute on Raw. I remember watching Eddie. I remember he was always one of my favorite guys growing up, because he had that ability and that charisma to make you laugh. And the things that he said was actually funny. It's not like John Cena's little kiddie jokes now. But I remember watching Eddie growing up, and I remember just being completely behind him, and Eddie, Eddie, Eddie. And then I remember when he turned on Rey Mysterio, and it shocked me, and to say the least. And then I saw the news clip of his death, and I was like, this can't be real. This can't be happening. This is Eddie Guerrero. But sure enough, it was real, and WWE would have had every justification, and the world would have understood if they had canceled that Monday Night Raw. But they went ahead and did it because they knew that Eddie Guerrero would have wanted them to go on. Eddie Guerrero would not have wanted them to cancel. So they went on without him. It was just a great Raw. Everybody went out and competed over the top and gave it 110%, everything they had throughout the night. You saw little clips from Triple H, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, people that were close to Eddie Guerrero. Of course, Shawn Michaels never wrestled him, but he was really close to Eddie Guerrero because they share the same faith. And it was a really, really memorable Raw for me. Probably one of my more favorite Raws. Not because Eddie Guerrero died, but because they were able to tribute him. They were able to tribute one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE history, and that's what puts Eddie Guerrero's tribute Raw at number 7. Number 6 is whenever Triple H returned to give Vince McMahon the big announcement that he was being relieved of his duties. I remember CM Punk and John Cena had that whole thing going on. Vince tried to take the match from Punk, and John Cena was like, "No, you're not going to do it." And Vince was like, "All right, John. Well, if you lose, I'm going to come back on Raw tomorrow night, or I'm going to come back on Raw after Money in the Bank, and I'm going to fire you." And he was out there on that Raw to do that, and Triple H came back and he said, you know, "I got here as quick as I could. You know, maybe we can go to the back. This doesn't need to happen here in public. I got here as quick as I could. I just came from, I just got off the jet. I just got here from headquarters where there was a board of directors meeting this morning, and they're questioning your decision making as of late. And you're not going to fire John Cena. You're not going to fire anybody because, Vince, you are relieved of your duties." And it was like, that was like pipe bomb for me. That was like jaw dropping because I didn't see that coming. I mean, Vince had been, you know, the head of things for so long. And to see, and we all know Vince still runs it, but it's still the shock value of it. And it was just really shocking to me because I couldn't imagine. I mean, I've been watching WWE 15 years now, and I couldn't imagine it without Vince McMahon as that head spot, as that head guy. You know, I remember back in my younger days, Vince was there every single Raw. Now he's not there so much, but it was just the shock value of it, and that's what put it at. That's what put Triple H replacing McMahon at number 6 on my list of the top 10 Raw moments in WWE Raw history. So that's the first 5. I gave you 10 through 6. I'm about to come back and give you part 2, 5 through 1. And those are my top 5, or the first half of my top 10, I should say. I'm sorry. And I found out that I do not have to work tomorrow, so Raw 1000 will be live for me. I'm stoked for that. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be a good one. Be right back with my part 2. Peace.